Year 3, this is Friday's maths lesson. Check you've got your math book, a sharp pencil and your ruler. I have noticed some of your work recently, some of you aren't using your ruler to draw lines in your book. Please can you make sure you're doing that, because when you come back to school, that's what's going to be expected. So just check that you're definitely doing that at home, and then you'll remember when you come back to school. Okay, so jot down the date and LO. Today we're going to be looking at the inverse. We've come across that word before. I'm hoping you've got some idea of what that means. So copy the date and LO in your book and have a little go at creating a fact family using these 3 numbers below. Pause the video and do that now. Okay, well done. Let's go through some answers. So we had to use these numbers in our calculations. We know that in our multiplying number sentences, the biggest number goes at the end, doesn't it? So 3 times 5 is 15. You could have had the switcher. 5 times 3 is 15. And with our division, the biggest number goes at the beginning. So you should have 15 divided by 3 is 5, or 15 divided by 5 is 3. Tick those if you got those correct. Okay, listening slide, pop your pencil down. Now we know that dividing is the opposite of multiplying. Firstly, we can use the inverse to help us check answers. Now, we've come across the inverse before when we were checking our addition or subtraction answers. We can do the opposite, can't we, to check? So we can also use the inverse in the same way when we're looking at multiplication and division number sentences. So let's have a look at an example. Dora thinks that 18 divided by 3 is 7. Now, you might know straight away whether she's right or wrong. However, today we are going to be using the inverse to show that we know how to do it. So what multiplication fact can we use to help us check this? So Dora thinks that 18 divided by 3 is 7. Using those numbers, so thinking about the fact family we just did, using those numbers, what multiplication fact could we do to check the answer? Just have a think and pause the video. Yeah, so we could have done 3 times 7. We could have also done 7 times 3 because that would have been the same answer, which is 21. Looking back at Dora's question here, did she have the right answer? No, she didn't, because 3 times 7 is 21, not 18. I wonder if you know what Dora's answer should have been. Okay. This one is an activity slide, so get ready. Let me explain what you have to do. So I'd like you to check these division calculations. So the first one is 16 divided by 3 is 5. I'd like you to pause the video and I'd like you to check it using a multiplication calculation to help you check. Okay. So pause the video and can you complete these 2 sentences underneath, filling in the blanks? Off you go. Okay, well done. You should have written, I know this is wrong or incorrect because 3 times 5 is 15. So we know that that was the wrong answer on this occasion. The answer should be 16 divided by 3 is 5 remainder 1. Well done if you got those correct. Let's have a look at another one. So let me talk you through it first and then you're going to have a go. So here's our question. 24 divided by 4 is 6. Now think about what multiplication calculation could you do to help you work out whether this is right or wrong. So pause the video and have a go at this one in the same way. Well done. Okay, this time it was correct because 4 times 6 is 24. Brilliant. Another listening slide. Pop your pencil down. Now, we can also use the inverse to help us solve missing number problems. So, for example, something divided by 3 is 9. Now, straight away, I can see a multiplication calculation that I can do that's going to get me that missing number. I could do 3 times 9, couldn't I? Or I could do 9 times 3, same thing. Now, if we know our number facts, which we should do by now, we would know 3 times 9 is 27, isn't it? So our missing number is 27. 27 divided by 3 is 9. Okay, listen again. So we've got another example here. Now this time it's a multiplication number sentence to start with. So what calculation are we going to be doing this time as the inverse? Yeah, we're going to be doing a division calculation this time as the inverse. So what we've got is something times 8 is 32. Now again, you might know this straight away, but we're going to do the inverse today to help us understand. And when you do get to trickier calculations that you don't know the answer straight away, you'll be able to work it out. So have a think, what calculation can we do? We know we're doing a division one. What can we do to help us find this missing number? Just have a quick think. Yeah, so we can do 32 divided by 8, can't we? And that would then get us our answer. I'm going to count up in 8s to help me today. So 8, 16, 24, 32. I've got 4 fingers up. That means 4 lots of 8 is 32. Therefore, my missing number is 4. There we go. Okay, another listening slide. Let's look at some larger numbers this time. So here's our example. Something divided by 3 is 24. Remember, this is the division number sentence, so we need quite a big number here. This is going to be the biggest number. Now have a think, what multiplication calculation can we do to help us work this out? Yeah, so we're going to do 24 times 3, or 3 times 24. Now, I'm looking at that calculation, and I don't know the answer straight away by counting in my 3s. That's a very high number, isn't it? 24 times 3. So now we're going to have to think, what method have we been learning about? I'm quite confident with, that I think I'd be able to work this out using. Now I'm thinking on this occasion to use the formal written method. That's what I'm thinking on this occasion. So I've written it out ready, as you can see. So now I'm going to start with my 1s. First, multiply the 1s. 4 times 3 is 12. I can't have 12 all in the 1s column, so I'm going to write 12 like this. Then I'm going to multiply the 10s. 2 times 3, that's actually 20, isn't it, that 2? We'll do 2 times 3 to help me. That's 6. I've got 1 there as well, 7. So my answer is 72. And my answer here then would be 72 divided by 3 is 24. Can you see how we did that? Okay, let's have a look at another example here. So this time I've got 8 times something is 96. Ooh, what calculation am I going to be doing here to help me work this out? Have a think. I'm going to use the numbers I've got already to help me. And I'm going to do a division this time because I've got a multiplication here that I don't know the answer for yet. So 96, because that's the biggest number, goes at the beginning with our division, divided by 8 is something. Now I've got to think, what's the best way of calculating this problem? What have we learned about in the last couple of weeks that's going to help me? If you get stuck on this sort of thing, you could flick back through your maths book, couldn't you, and find where you've done these sort of questions and remember the method that helped you the most. On this occasion for me, I'm going to choose a number line, okay, and we're going to count up in 8. There we go. So I think I had this typed. Let's type it out. So 8, 4, 32, 40. Obviously do this in your book along the number line, but it's a bit tricky for me to do that today. 56. Blimey, I've got to get up to 96, haven't I, along my number line? Ooh, that's a high number. We would definitely be using a ruler for this number line, wouldn't we, everyone? Yes, please. 64, 70, 2, 80. Oh, I must have reached 10 times 8 when I got to 80, because I know that's 88, 96. There we are. That's what I wanted to get to, wasn't it? So you'll need to organise your work carefully when you're looking at the number lines in your book. Make sure you've got enough room for things. So I'm getting rid of that 96 now. There's mine. And what you would do on your number line then is you do your jumps, wouldn't you? You do 1 times 8, 2 times 8, 3 times 8, 4 times 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times 8. 12 times 8. That means that my missing number is 12. And my missing number then up here is 12. 8 times 12 is 96. Now, when it's your turn in a moment, if you get a bit stuck on remembering how to solve these problems, you could wind the video back, couldn't you, to this point and use this screen to help you. That would be fine. Let's have a go. So your turn. I'd like you to have a go at both of these problems in your book, and then we'll go through them together. So pause the video, off you go. Okay, so something divided by 4 was 36. Now you should have worked out this sum, this calculation, to help you find the answer. We wanted to do the opposite, didn't we? 36 times 4. You should have done something a bit like this. I probably would have chosen formal written method to do this one. So worked it out, and the answer is then 144. Okay, tick a tick if you got it right. And let's look through this one. So 3 times something was 42. Well, to work it out, we needed to do a division number sentence. 42 divided by 3 is something. And I've chosen a number line again to help me work this one out. So I've gone up in my 3s, okay, because we were dividing by 3. I've counted in my 3s all the way up to 42. How many 3s was that? I know that that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It was 14 lots of 3. So my answer is 14. Okay, tick that if you got it right. Right, your turn this time. So I'm going to flick through the slides for you. Remember, you can wind the video back at any point if that's helpful for you, or look back through your maths book at the methods we've been practicing together. So I'm going to leave it up to you. Off you go. And now we have the answers, so make sure you're ticking nice and neatly with your pencil or a purple pen at home. Off we go. Well done everyone for today. Amazing work. I look forward to checking in with you later on. Bye.